Ladies and gentlemen, how many people are so excited to see Al Snow tonight, huh? Oh, man. It is a dream come true to be working with Al Snow. He and I have been on tour. You may or may not be aware of this, Al. Obviously, famously, as a wrestler, if you did not know, I don't know why you showed up, but that's okay. Al is a professional wrestler over, I think, 40 years in the business. I mean, my gosh. I've only been doing this for 4 minutes. But no, Al, I've known Al for a few years, and we've been talking, and he said he wanted to give comedy a shot. And I said, well, yeah, you do like to get beaten up a lot, so might as well do what I do. That's fine. Less hospital visits doing this, though. That's fine. But no, it's been a dream come true. I mean, if you had told me when I was a 5, 6, 7-year-old kid watching WWE or whatever, I mean, I still remember, even in the 90s, being in high school. That's how old I am. But being in the 90s, watching, these characters, these larger-than-life people. I mean, I remember seeing a guy who was just charismatic and funny and just amazing and just captivating to the audience. And that man was The Rock. But Al was also on that show. And if you had told me I'd be working with him, I'd say, yeah, that fits. That's good. But no, it's been so much fun. Al and I, you may have been following us online. We've been going all over the country. We just got back from California. For the 2 people who've been there. But yeah, it was great. We got to do all the touristy stuff. Saw all the, like the studios where they shoot all my favorite TV shows. But I mean, I wasn't super impressed. I mean, I am from Chicago, right? We shoot Chicago Med, Chicago Fire. We shoot each other. It's fine. It's fine. No. And if I'm being honest, I say I'm from Chicago, but I'm from Naperville, right? So, but I'm home. But everywhere else we go, I'd say I'm from Chicago. I can afford not to live here. That's what that is. I'm kidding. I do not afford Naperville. I snuck in, and they do not like me there. But being in Chicago, it's a big political city. We have a lot of conservatives in the audience tonight. That's what I thought. Did that in L.A. Some lady went, no! I was like, you just outed yourself. Liberals don't like that. That's fine. For everybody else who obviously is a liberal, hello, how are you? So good to see you. So nice to see you, folks. Oh, it's tremendous to be here, folks. You love me. I know you love me. It's tremendous. You thought you had me. You didn't have me. I'm back again, folks. Sleepy Joe's running. It's going to be 2.0. Okay? I made a lot of money doing that shit last time. A lot of money. When he didn't get reelected, I was like, well, shit. Okay. It's okay. I didn't vote for him either. It's fine. I'm obligated to say that when I'm in Chicago. Alternatively, what am I going to do? Joe Biden, right? Joe's all right. He's just lost. Hey, folks, calm down. Where am I? I like Obama. Obama was cool, right? He was like America's dad, right? He was like, all right. I told you to clean your room. You didn't do it. Now you can't play with your iPod. iPods were out when he was president. That's what that was. Before him, we had W, right? What? What are you upset with me for? I didn't do nothing. Ever. Then I was in high school when, Bill. How you doing? Walking to class. Yeah. Now I just have to pay my wife $500,000 to tell people she slept with me. That's good. It's another Trump joke! Anyway. Well, we're here because we love wrestling. We got wrestling fans in the audience tonight. Where's my WWE fans? Let me hear it. Where's my AEW fans? No, seriously, where the fuck are you? Nobody's watching that show. I'm kidding. I like AEW fine. I just liked it better when they called it WCW, right? Oh, yeah, because it's true, right? It's fine. AEW is just like, it's like the divorced single dad's house, I know your mom won't let you cut yourself here, but you can do it here anytime, kid. It's fine. Oh man, it's so neat. I love wrestling though. I do. I mean, this is like I said, this is a dream come true. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, wrestling is it's the ultimate form of entertainment. It's action, it's drama, it's comedy, it's pyrotechnics, it's music, it's choreography, but But my favorite thing about it was the music, right? I'm a musician myself. I love the entrance music, right? Who are some of your favorite wrestlers? Besides Al. You got to say Al because he's here. But like, who else? Who is your favorite wrestlers? Hulk Hogan, right? I am a real old man. George Steele. Oh, that's some old ones there.
Foley.
What?
Mick Foley.
Have a nice day. Yeah, you hear the car crash. That was Al. You know, when you hear the glass break, dun, 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 you know what's happening. What? You son of a bitch. Right? You know it. Why can't we have that in real life? Right? You know how helpful it would have been to me when I was dating? I'm married now, but when I was dating, do you know how helpful it would have been if I was in a bar and all of a sudden just, she's my cherry pie. Oh, my ex is walking in. Oh, God. Try not to sell it. Oh, I don't see her. Where is he? I had a Twinkie before the show. Don't judge me. Yes, I have diabetes. That's the thing. Who's clapping for diabetes? My doctor's here, ladies and gentlemen. Making that Ozempic cash. All right. No, I found out over the pandemic I had diabetes, and here comes the cheap pop. Since then, I've lost over 160 pounds. Yes. Now I do. I won't lie. I'm still addicted to sugar. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, just like any addict too. I'll do whatever I have to do to get my hands on it. I mean, I just gave Al a blowjob just for a line of Oreos before the show. I mean, it was when you're addicted, and no, I mean that's all there is to it. So.
Good for you.
Thank you. It's nice to have the support for my disease. But whatever. I mean, it's fine. Over the pandemic, what else did I do? Oh, I did the Ancestry DNA. Did anybody do the Ancestry DNA over the pandemic? Somebody said, I'm doing it right now. I'm so glad you're here. This is great. On her phone right now, you're doing Ancestry DNA? Am I that unentertaining? You got to do Ancestry right now? What did you find out? Anything interesting?
I haven't gotten the results back yet.
So let's talk maybe in a couple weeks. Okay, good. Anybody else do the DNA thing that can maybe help me be funny? What? Yeah, okay, good. Well, I'll tell you what, seeing how we're going to move this along, I'll tell you what I found out. I found out some very interesting things about my genealogy, and ironically, some of my family is here, so they're going to learn some shit too. But I found out that I am, not unsurprisingly, the majority of my genealogy is Irish, which is not surprising, because I had 6 drinks before I came out here. It's not a stereotype if it's true. But I also found out I am like 4% Jewish, surprisingly, which makes me 4% funnier as a comedian, and instantly, it's great. I also found out I was 7% African American. I kid you not, family, 7% African American. So, ma'am, you know what that means. It means I have an excellent singing voice. I don't know what the fuck you guys are thinking. I can sing. I'm just zoning in on you guys right now. Are you guys together? Hopefully, otherwise your hand's in a really weird spot. Are you guys dating, married? What? We're dating. She's like, we're dating. We'll see how things go. How long have you guys been dating?
Almost 5 years.
Almost. Did you guys say the same thing? What?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 years. How did you guys meet? Tinder. Yeah, I'm old, man. I met my wife in a bar, like an American. But you guys met on Tinder? Who met who? Who reached out to who? I act like I don't even know how the app works. I just know that's how people fuck. I mean, meet. He reached out to you. What did you say? What did he say that was like, there it is?
We knew each other before.
So you didn't even need Tinder. You could have just met, but you decided to do that. Lazy, really. I'm sorry. So you met on. What did you say? Like what did? Why are you together for 5 years? That's what I want to know.
What did I say? I don't remember.
Hey.
How are you? What's going on?
I mean, I'd do you right from that, right? What is your name, sir?
Joe.
Joe, and what is your name?
Melanie.
Joe and Melanie. Do you guys have any plans to get married? I mean, it's been 5 years. What's going on?
Doing life.
We're doing life.
Yeah.
That means you guys don't have jobs? Or what? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just tell jokes. That's fine. What do you do for a living?
I'm a painter.
You're a painter?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it Joel?
Joe.
Joe. And you were?
Melanie.
Melanie. Melanie, do you have a job?
I'm a housekeeper.
I was going to say outside the home or a housekeeper. Okay. Where do you guys live?
Munster.
I'm going to stop by. I just want to know. Munster, Indiana?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing here?
No, man.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Certainly wasn't for me. I get that. It's fine. I get that. I love Indiana, right? It's the biggest city is Chicago. It's great. So you guys just together? You guys just, if it's too much, just doesn't matter. I'm going to keep talking. Do you guys have kids?
Not together.
We have separate kids before we met.
You just keep them as far apart from each other as you can. I get it. No, that's fine. That's fine. How old are your kids?
15.
Exactly. Each of them are 15?
I got a 19-year-old.
You realize she's doing all of the work right now, Joe.
And she's got a 15-year-old.
15-year-old and you have a 19-year-old?
And a 15-year-old.
And a 15-year-old. Cool. I've got kids.
How old are they?
It's none of your fucking business, Joe. The jokes are going this way, pal. I don't know. You bought a ticket, right? You know how theater works, right? You do that shit in Hamilton? Hey, Lin-Manuel, where's your wife? Well, you guys, this is funny. You're not gonna believe this, but Joe and Melanie, I knew you were coming, even though we just met, and I actually wrote a song for you guys.
All right.
I totally did. I'm gonna play it for you guys. You okay if I play a song right now? It'd be really weird if you were like, no, I'm good. Mom, is that you? All right, I'm gonna play a song right now for Joe and Melanie. It'd be really weird if I actually know how to play, right? All right. Woo! One guy appreciates the chords. That's good. Hey everybody, my name's Joe. I went with Melanie to a comedy show. They said that the headliner was Al Snow, but the guy at the top of the show was a dickhead from the very get-go. Then Melanie fell in love. She's thanking the stars and the angels in heaven above. We've been together for 5 years and still haven't gotten married because we're progressive. And we've got kids that we keep separated. Because if we're being honest, we don't like each other enough to keep them in our lives. But Joe and Melanie, they love each other so much. They just really wish we weren't spending all this attention on them tonight. Oh, love seems so hollow. Joe just tonight is really wishing Melanie will spend time with him. Spend time with him. But we're living in sin, not getting married with our kids. And when I said getting married with our kids, I didn't mean it in a gross way, because that would be inappropriate. But after all, they're from Indiana. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys ready for your main event?
Yeah.
I said, are you ready for your main event? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for one half of the stand-up comedy tag team champions and my partner, and also one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Mr. Al Snow!
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head?
Hey guys, how are you?
The room was
Do we not all love Dean Martin? I mean, really, he was the man. He really was. I want to point out, you probably notice my voice. Not going to get it past you. I know I sound like Christian Bale doing Batman 24 hours a fucking day.
Where are the drugs going?
Yeah, I am vengeance. This only works like back in the day. Remember when you were kids? You call somebody up. Have you checked the children? I had hiccups for like 3 weeks straight. Legitimately, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I had hiccups, and they gave me like antipsychotic medicine to get rid of it. So seriously, they did.
Antipsychotic medicine for hiccups?
Yes. Yeah, but I also, and you can Google this, there's lots of things during the show I'm going to point out, little information from your Uncle Al. I found out that there is a cure for chronic hiccups, and it's to massage the prostate. So I can't wait to get them again, and then just tell my wife, Jessica, in circular motions, don't make eye contact.
Is that why you kept hiccuping in the green room?
You're damn right. Be kind and gentle with me. This is kind of new for me. Dave talked me into this.
It was more like begging, but yes.
Somebody, at least in my life, had to do that at least once. And I thought, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I mean, what could go wrong? I mean, I literally was able to convince millions of people that I could knock another human being out with a plastic head. Yeah. And trust me, I can't. I can't even knock a toddler out. I've tried. And that always results in weird conversations with the parents. They're like, we're going to call the cops. I'm like, yeah, call the cops on fucking Billy. He's not selling. Fucking Big Show went down, stayed down, and your son got up and cried. Bullshit. I also curse like a sailor with Tourette's. So if that offends you, I apologize now. I came by it honestly. My mother, who is 80 years old now, she's like, Alan. That's my name is Alan. So if anybody didn't know, it should be Alan. You shouldn't use that language. You shouldn't use it. I'm like, she goes, where do you get that? And I'm like, from you, bitch. That's where I got it from. For the first part of my life, I thought my name was Jesus Christ. My brother's name was God damn it. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? God damn it, get in here. I told this story just the other day. My mom's 5'2". I am still terrified of her. Legitimately. I'm like 6'2", 240 pounds. And if I hear Alan Ray, I just, like PTSD. You know what I mean? Like, my asshole just goes like this. When I was born, this is a true story, like my mom's 5'2". She's probably 4'8", which if I shave off a couple inches more, I could get her legally declared a midget, and then we could get money for it.
Al, you can't say midget anymore.
Little person.
Just call them munchkins.
Vertically challenged person. When I was born, I was 2 feet long. So I was so long, my feet were turned in. They had to break my feet, my legs when I was a baby. And basically, my brother came after me and then like just walked out twirling a cane going, hello, my darling, hello, my baby.
Wow.
I had paved the way.
I did not know that about you. That's some Forrest Gump shit right there.
Yeah. Run, Al, run. Commander Dan. You made me lose some spot.
I'm sorry. That was interesting.
I'm just wondering. Well, and if this doesn't work out, I'll probably just go to doing magic for the blind. It's my way of giving back to the community, you know what I mean? Just a little note, you've got to say ta-da after every trick. They don't know anything happened. They really love card tricks, you know what I mean? It's like, is this your card? And they're like, I don't know. And you go, it is. Ta-da. And they're like, holy shit, how does he do it? You're like, well, it's years of practice. So, on the way here, stopped at the gas station, got a Monster Energy drink, not because I play video games, because I'm 60 and I'd like to flirt with heart attacks, and went in the gas station, and there was this lady, she's sitting on the curb and she's crying, and, I just kind of walked past her, you know what I mean, at the gas station, you've seen all kinds of people. I walk out, and finally, curiosity got the best of me. I'm like, ma'am, are you all right? And she's like, I lost $200. I needed that for rent. I lost it here in the parking lot. You know what I did? True story. I gave her $40 of the $200 I had just found in the parking lot because When God blesses you, you bless others.
True humanitarian, Alan.
It's, that's like one night I met this guy. He was at the bar. He was so drunk he couldn't walk. So I carried him all the way home. Got him on the front porch, knocked on the door, and I said, "Here's your husband, ma'am." And she's like, "Yeah, where's his fucking wheelchair?" And I was like,
You try to help people, and they just...
so ungrateful,
Yeah.
And that attitude, people. Attitude. I have a friend. He literally has sex like 2 or 3 times a day. He works out like at least every day, if not a couple times a day. He reads a couple books, and all he does is bitch about being in prison. Fucking attitude. All about the attitude.
I knew you weren't talking about me when you said that has lots of sex. It was definitely not me.
Speaking of sex, you know who's an asshole? Dolphins are assholes.
Why
Oh,
are
look, everybody went quiet. Oh, you don't fuck with the dolphins. I know. Dolphins are assholes. You know why? They're the only other species that have sex for pleasure, and they will rape other fish. They will. They do. They take pufferfish. They use them as drugs. They're assholes. They got my friend fired from SeaWorld because he was the announcer at SeaWorld, and all he did was point out that when you get done with the dolphin show, you can go over to the snack stand and buy fish sticks. So that's a true story.
Wow.
It's all true stories. Also, a little bit of advice from your Uncle Al. If you guys I know this is an early night for you. This is a big city, and you guys are going to head out, still have some good times, right? Because you're going to get a little lubed up here. And if you're going to go to the strip clubs, guys, swing by the bank, get yourselves $2 bills. They look like 20s in that light. That's the truth. You had $60 worth of fun. You only spent $6. You cannot fight destiny, not unless you're willing to fight the other strippers and the bouncer. Just a fact. Next up on the stage, Cinnamon. A little more advice, okay? Because used to, you go to the strip club. You guys know, don't you?
He's like, yeah, I do. Yeah.
You know.
I'm going tonight.
You're going tonight. Well, you guys all go to the strip clubs that got the, attractive women and all that. I used to do the same thing. In fact, the other wrestlers, what's the one out here by the airport, out by O'Hare?
I have no idea. I've never been to one. My wife
you
is in the
don't.
audience, Al.
Oh, okay. I forget the name of that one out there. We used to go to that one out there all the time.
What's a strip club, Al? I just have Bible study.
It's a place of athletic women that you help support single women $1 at a time. So, thank you. It's empowering. You know what I mean? Very empowering. They'd take me along because if they knew there were ugly strippers there, I would get livid, upset. It was the principle of the thing. You know what I mean? I'm going to go to the strip club. I want the strip club experience. And I would literally go argue with the manager to get our cover charge back every time. That's why they'd purposely bring me. Because I'd be like, it was daylight when that bitch walked in here. So, what you're putting up here in the half-lit dark ain't selling. So give us our strip. And then I realized this is where you got to go. Okay? Find the ones that the cover charge is $3, or when you're pulling into the parking lot at 2 a.m., there are 2 guys in a panel van selling used lingerie and panties to the strippers. Then you've found the right place. Because then you're always going to have a story. It's magic. In Louisville, there's the one street, 7th Street, so they've got them all over there, right? And the one night I went there and watched a woman. Man, she could dance. She was amazing. But she took her panties off and stuffed them up inside herself and then proceeded to use her vagina to smoke a cigarette. And I thought I was going to a strip club, not to a magic act. These are all true stories.
The panties were inside, and then
she had to have a filter or something, I guess.
I walked right
I
into
didn't
that.
ask. I'm honest to God, I didn't walk up and go, "What? Why do you stuff that in?" I didn't do that. I just sat there and went, "Wow," because she'd squeak in it. She'd literally puff on a cigarette, and they would pull it out, and back out like that. She'd blow O-rings too.
You're reliving the moment right now. I can see it.
It was an amazing sight. Down the street, the next one, right? Stripper, I didn't want to see her fully clothed in Walmart, and she's missing her arm from the elbow down, which is, it's cool. But problem is, though, and not from personal experience, but I would imagine that stripper pole gets kind of slippery, and it did, and she lost a grip, and she tried to grab with the nub, and poof, went right down. One night, we're at a strip club, and we're up right at the where the stage is, sitting right by the stage, all the wrestlers, you know what I mean? And then the one guy that I used to team with, I won't say his name.
John Cena.
John Cena.
Make a wish.
He was, he liked to rock a lot. So,
I
we're sitting there,
smell what you're cooking.
and not that one.
Oh, sure.
Oh, there you go.
Hey.
And has a history of playing practical jokes on people. So the stripper, we're sitting there, and the drinks are on the what do you call that?
Table?
The dash, whatever. I don't
The
know.
bar? The
Bar, right?
the stage?
And she starts to swing on the pole, and a little poop nugget pops out. It gets better. If you're already selling for that, it just gets better. And I watch it. It's about the size of a little marble, and it goes, and then it goes pink, 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 splish, right in somebody's drink. And I watch it go, and then I see him looking that way, and I'm like, And he goes to reach for it, and I'm like, after everything he's done to me. And then he took a drink. And I then got sick and went to the bathroom. One night, I felt bad, and I paid the DJ to play a slow song so that I could slow dance with the stripper that had a club foot, because I felt bad for her. So I thought it was a nice thing to do, So that way, see, you have stories. If you go to these places, you'll have stories. Always look for the panel van, use lingerie, use panties in the parking lot. That's a tip. Any strip club that's in the basement of a building, definitely on the list. Good times. And then finally, anything cover charge less than $5, you're golden. You're gonna walk away with a lot of good experiences,
And a high risk of catching a disease at some point.
Well, that depends on just where and how far you go, and if like a little poop nugget falls into your
God. Oh.
into your drink, Hey, don't believe everything that you guys see written on bathroom walls. Little advice from your Uncle Al as well. That will, Sharon is not up for a good time, and that was a really fucking awkward phone call. So you can Google this too. The human anus, this is a shoot. Human anus can stretch up to 8 inches. Think about that, 8 inches, right?
Wow.
Why is that important? 2 reasons. One, little known fact. First off, if you're in yoga and you're like Carol's beside you and she's like, I just can't do this, I'm not that, flexible, and you're like, Carol, I think you're underestimating yourself. Dare to dream, Carol. Second, did you know, this is, again, you can Google it, raccoons can squeeze up into a hole up to 4 inches small in diameter. That means you could stuff 2 raccoons up your ass. Think about that. So
That's a new one, Al. That's a new one.
The next time you're at a party and they're like, hey, show us a trick, and you're like, I'll be right back. Head out in the yard with a couple marshmallows, come back in, watch this.
Every show we do, you surprise me with some new information, and
I'm trying to help people out.
I think we need to limit your internet access.
Trying to help people out. Now, I told this story in the car. I'm going to tell it to you. I've always thought about telling it, and I'm like, well, maybe I probably shouldn't do it.
Wait, is this a story you're like, I probably won't tell this?
Yeah.
Great, you guys are
I'm going to do it, though. So, because there's, social media, right, is fantastic if you use it the right way, which is for your own personal entertainment. I didn't know, this was back at the start of social media, just had Facebook. Even before that was MySpace. Remember MySpace? Yeah. Any of you old enough to know MySpace? Okay, first off, let's get this out of the way. Yeah, I'm old. I get it, okay? Like, you guys are such pussies, I swear. They are they not? I mean, you're right here.
You can't call the audience pussies out.
Here's why. He's like, oh,
Even if they are.
you can't drive and be distracted. Don't text and drive. Guys, I'm telling you something. My dad drove 70, 85 miles an hour with a beer between his legs, eating a sandwich, a paper map over on top of the dash, trying to figure out where the fuck we were going. Meanwhile, yelling at my mom, who's on her knees, trying to swing at us in the back seat. You can't text and drive? Seriously? Seatbelts? What the fuck is that for? Take your fucking chances. Toughen up, boys and girls.
How very
Oh, and let me tell you something. I see one more of you people riding a fucking bicycle with your goddamn helmets on. It's hunting season, bitch. I think it should be in Louisville. We have. I don't know what the popularity of this is. Grown adult men riding around in those outfits and that fucking helmet, and I just want to go with a broomstick and go. I'm sorry. I rode bikes all my life, no helmet. Granted, CTE is a real issue, and I deal with it a lot now. So, anyways, I was talking about the fact that I'm getting old, and I'm proud of it. I'll be 60 this year. You guys are like, hey, congratulations. You made it past the freshness date. There's one, I have no problem getting old. I have no issue with it except for the fact of the shit that's happening with my body. I have my feet now, with my toenails getting thicker, look like I could swoop out of the sky and pick up my lunch in a fucking stream.
Owl snow. Fuck you. He's gonna beat the shit out of me after the show.
They are snow owls.
Oh, God. Mom, go home.
Oh, that was painful.
Sorry.
The other problem is I am now growing hair on my body where it don't need to fucking grow. I'm not kidding. Like, I have it on the edges of my fucking ears. I look like Lon Chaney going through the change into the Wolfman. I have to shave the edges of my ears every day. Otherwise, it gets so long I can fucking braid it. I was dating my wife, Jessica, right? And I tried to get over, trying to look cool, and the only place this is what you guys have to look forward to as you get older. Trust me. It's going to fuck you up. I'm telling you. You're driving, I'm like, looking at her, the sun's hitting, and this is every time, this is where they spot the hairs on you that are growing in unusual places. Can't be when you're in the bathroom by yourself and you're like, oh, shit. No, your eyebrows are going to start to grow straight out of your fucking head. And when you clip them, it sounds like you're cutting wire. What biological purpose does it serve to increase the thickness of my eyebrows to where I can wire your house with it now? I'm driving. She looks. She goes, you got a string in your ear. I go, what? She goes, you got a string in your ear. I go, well, pull it out. It's not a string. It's a white hair. She grabs it. Look where my hand goes. That fucking far. Why? Like, I have conversations with God every day. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Explain to me how that makes fucking sense. She goes, plink, I almost wrecked the goddamn car. I don't know what this shit's attached to, but when I pull it, my entire head feels like it swells up, tears come in my eyes. Those hairs, right? All guys, right? Every time. Yeah, wait till now. But now you get bushels of them, don't you? And I spend every day just sitting here going, kunk, kunk. People look over in the car and they're like, oh, he's picking his own. No, I'm fucking plucking those hairs. Why? because I had to wait until I was in the fucking mirror to spot it. Now I'm driving somewhere and I gotta go, I can't walk in with fucking bushes sticking out of my nose. You know what's the worst? It makes no goddamn sense. And I genuinely, I'm upset about this. And then, like, my body, this basically is cock blocking me all the time now. So, where it's the worst, and I'm not a hairy guy. I mean, you can see that I don't look, not much, right? Do you know where I have a ton of it? Crack of my goddamn ass.
He's clapping for your ass.
Yeah, well, yeah. Looks like the inside of a wool sock. Or like, you know, like a fucking kilt bed on the ocean floor, you know. Please explain to me why I need that there. Is it like, you know, is it like a muffler? Like it's my own in the winter, I'm going to stick my hands up there and keep them warm? What the fuck? Here's the worst.
It gets worse.
It gets worse.
God.
It does. I found my first gray pube. Granted, that one was in a Big Mac at McDonald's, but...
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I found I literally, you know, I look down and I'm like, the fuck? Like it now, you know, because I'll tell you right now, the carpet don't match the drapes no more. These are hardwood floors. And guys, don't buy the bullshit. It don't make it look bigger. That's a lie. Because I looked down, I'm like, yep, they lied to me about that one. Son of a bitch. I was really hoping to. No, it just looked like a tired old buzzard, you know what I mean? Just like hanging there. He looked so depressed, and I was like, I mean, you know, back in the day, you know, he'd wake up before I would. He'd be like, come on, Al, let's go, come on. We gotta go start the day. You gotta go find some place to stick me in. Let's go, come on. And now just like, I'll roll over and I'm like, let's go, come on, pal. And he'd be like, can I get another 10 minutes? Somebody's like, no, get the fuck up, let's go. You know, and he's like, but you know, I'm bald now. And I'm like, yeah, trust me, you're better bald than you are with that deal going on, you know. Which brings me to a event that happened with my good friend Mick Foley one night. And are we done? Because that'll be about enough of that shit. You know, what's funny is Mick, when we were in the locker room and stuff, he'd tell all the boys, yeah, when I get done wrestling, I'm going to be a stand-up comic. We'd all laugh, you know what I mean? Yeah, you Mick, you. Yeah, now he's a stand-up comic and nobody's fucking laughing, so. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. You guys are here.
Take it, bitch. Anyway.
We're recording this for Netflix, by the way.
Oh, that's great, yeah. That's great. He'll fire back. Did you ever notice, like, the backside of him looks like he had a industrial accident in wood shop where he backed into a belt sander and just... The man has no ass. I mean, he's got childbearing hips, but he has no ass. It's like his spine just ends in a hole. I mean, so like... How do you even push it out? You don't have any like squeeze to it, no suction or anything. It just, you know what I mean? Tommy Dreamer calls himself the Dolly Parton of gay people because he's got such a big ass. Didn't know if you guys knew that or not. I digress. Anyways,
Random comments about Tommy Dreamer.
well, you know we got to pay tribute to Tommy every once in a while.
Of course.
Where was I?
You're getting old.
Oh no, it was wrestling in Montreal, and I'd been wrestling Bob Holly, right? So I don't know if you guys know Bob. You know Bob.
Hardcore
Back in
Holly.
the day, like this, always grumpy. You know what I mean? So he would every night. We'd be wrestling. He would. It's great because you guys are wrestling fans, so I don't have to go through this explanation of what a vertical suplex is, where I gotta like explain and visualize and like bend myself over like I'm in prison and where it was really odd to a non-wrestling audience, you know. But he would vertically suplex me every night, and he'd just leave me up there, and I would get bored. And when I get bored, stuff happens. So I'd be up here upside down, and I'd start pointing like at his dick and be going like, or I'd be doing this, right? And every night he would be like, I don't get it. I don't understand why they always laugh when you're, and I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. So, and then we're going to get into the caveats here in a second. Caveat meaning excuses for some things that happen. So we're in Montreal, and I see Mick conspiratorially over in the corner with Bob Holly. Now what he's doing is he's stooging me off to Bob about all the stuff I've been doing every night with Bob, right? Because the reason I know is because Bob can't hide his emotion. He turns around because he's only got one fucking emotion. I'm pissed. That's it. Right? So I'm like, oh, something's afoot. I know something's going on. So we're in a big four-corner tag, and it's the Hollies, Bob and Crash, the Dudleys. I think Edge and Christian were in that match, and then me, and Mick Foley, the traitor. Think about that. Your own partner, you throw under the bus, you stab in the back, you set him up.
That ain't right.
And then you go out and you tag with him to create the situation. Now I, being wily, cagey, I try to avoid being in the ring at all times with Bob. And then, what do all the other fuckers do? They all drop off the fucking ring and leave me in there. So now I know I'm screwed. I'm like, shit. Right? And just so you understand, there's lots of stuff that happens in that ring while you're watching it. You think, oh, they're just trying to kick shit out of each other. No, we're fucking around. Here's where the caveats come in. 1, I was born in 1963. That means I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. That means I know what real fucking pubic hair is. Not this groomed shit. Okay? That was not the style. Like the first time I ever saw like a nudie bag, I was like, Jesus Christ, what is that? Looked like a Wookiee or something just coming up out of the page. Right? Yeah, with one eye just looked like the crack of my ass has now become. The only upside to that is it's not turned gray. I don't know why. Everything else has. Just not that. Maybe I could transfer my ass hair to the top of my head.
You could take over for Urlacher on the billboard.
Yeah. What is there an outbreak of male pattern baldness in this fucking city? I drive everywhere and all I do is see fucking billboards for hair restoration. I'm like, is there a pandemic of fucking hair loss here?
It comes
you
from
all
the
live
beef
with.
suite
I
here.
get it. You're in Chicago, and you got a lot of fucking stress living here. So I guess I can understand why your fucking hair falls out.
A lot of dodging.
Hey, don't worry though. In Louisville, we're trying to catch up with you.
Yeah,
So
you guys
we've
are
got a bunch
catching
of
up.
shootings ourselves. But
On a lighter note,
on a lighter note, back to my abundance of pubic hair. And in all seriousness, I did not know that was now a trend at that time. So in my defense, I had quite a bit. Pretty proud of it too. So also, I didn't wear under tights when I wrestled. So Mick knew that. And also, this was Montreal, Canada. And it was December in an ice arena. So it was very, very cold. We all know that in order to have a sufficient amount of blood supply, you got to have some warmth, some heat. If things are a little too cold, there could be some shrinkage. So I just want to put that out there. Okay? So I'm wrestling Bob, and Bob goes to try to suplex me. And I'm like, oh, no. You're not going to do that. And he's so ridiculously strong, he just brings me right up. And I go up in the air, and I'm like, what's he doing? Like, he knows what I'm going to do. And then all of a sudden, I feel him grab my pants leg and go, boop, and just opens it up. So now I'm upside down, and Big Jim and the twins are looking out to the entire arena in Montreal. And again, it was cold. So I've heard it described as a buzzard's nest with 2 robin's eggs with a worm burrowing out of the center. My favorite was a button on a fur coat. And the more I tried to cover myself, the more everybody finally started to realize what was going on as he spun in the ring to let everybody see it, and then suplexed me. To be fair, I want everybody to know that Big Jim and the Twins have made numerous public appearances all around the world. In my hometown in Louisville, Kentucky, we were on TV at SmackDown, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley let the Dick Mango Trio run wild and free. I was in Kuwait, and we were sitting on a beach, myself, the Bushwhackers, and Marty Jannetty. Yeah. And an American lady came over with her 2 children and wanted me to take a photo with them. And I said, great, yeah, I'd take a picture. And I scooted back on the Chase Lounge, and at that time, just so you guys know, I was sporting real men's shorts. Not that shit you wear, okay? That's like short sleeves, and you wear shorts and they come here. They might as well be culottes or something. I mean, those aren't shorts. And let's be honest, like you right here, you'll feel me. The first time we ever saw another man's testicles was usually our father, who was wearing shorts at the time, and at the family picnic, put his foot up on there, and out came the fucking dove's breast swinging out. Am I not right? I mean, that's always the case, you know?
You just call them a dove's breast?
Dove's breast, yeah. Yeah. Do you ever think that a scrotum would make a great change purse? I mean, I look at mine sometimes and I'm like, I could store coins in there.
We think about very different things, Al.
Yeah, you know. I got time on my hands now, so. Because he's, asleep at the wheel. Anyways, I was sitting there and we're wearing, real shorts. And scoot back, something comes out. I don't know it. I'm still sitting there. She leaves as she's taking the photograph, and Marty and the Bushwhackers start laughing, and then I'm like, what are you laughing at? And they point, and I'm like, oh, shit. Right? The next morning at about 5 a.m. Kuwait time, an envelope goes under the door. I'm dead asleep, but the minute I hear under the door, I go, the fuck was that? I go look. There's an envelope with a letter in it. She is telling me that she's a professional photographer and that she took the photo with her kids yesterday and all was not quite right, but that she'll destroy the photo. I was terrified because I'm in Kuwait where they cut people's hands off for stealing an apple, right? What are they going to do to me because my junk was hung out with this kid? I was like, oh my God, they're going to cut my stuff off. And of course I tell Steve Austin and a couple of the other guys on the bus, and they're like just stirring it up. And for the next couple of days, I thought for sure somebody was going to show up at the hotel, arrest me, and I was going to be in a public square, and they were going to like a guillotine on Big Jim.
That's how you get your dick cut off.
That was how it was too, yeah. So, yeah, I got a little scary at the end, didn't it? Took a dark turn.
Yeah.
They always do. They always take a dark turn. That is for sure. Where am I at? What am I doing?
I got 10 minutes.
Oh, I got 10 minutes. Oh, I can't tell time anymore because of the head injuries. So he has to be up here with me to make sure that I stay on time. Otherwise, I could talk for literally hours. So
He does.
I do.
Which is cool.
It is cool, yeah.
Until it's not cool.
Then it's not cool. Yeah. So, you guys want to hear any wrestling stories? Yeah. Saw somebody had my book here, so I probably won't. I could go into some of those, or because I got lots and lots and lots of stories. I could tell you about the cast of characters that I met in, because here in the United States, where's the one place everyone makes fun of as far as, like goofy people that, in the States, Florida. Now it's Florida. Before Florida, it was West Virginia and Kentucky, correct?
Yeah.
And certain parts of Tennessee and Georgia and Arkansas. And Louisiana.
Munster, Indiana, too.
Oh, and, hey, who's from Munster?
These guys right here.
Hey, was it founded by Herman Munster? I'm just curious.
Now, Grandpa.
Yeah. So in Canada, it is Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, okay? And I will describe to you the staff that ran the wrestling promotion that I met upon arrival there, and it was spectacular. So I'm going to spend 10 days with these people, okay, on a tour through Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, and I arrive and I'm picked up by the promoter, who is a cigarette smuggler. And he's accompanied by his young assistant, and Luke, the bushwhacker's there, and Honky Tonk Man is already there. We drive from the airport, we go to a bed and breakfast that's operated by a retired chief of police, and he and his wife, and the retired chief of police is addicted to porn that he watches all day long on his computer with the volume at full blast. So when you come down for your eggs and bacon in the morning, you're listening to, do me, and the wife is just walking around the house like nothing's happening. And I'm like, wait, am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? What is going on? So that's the old chief of police and his wife, the bed and breakfast. Honky Tonk Man I meet is in the garage of the bed and breakfast, and where they store the ring. He is passed out drunk, has pissed himself, and is seated with the head of the ring crew, and the man's name is Wiener. Yes, he's a grown man, and his name is Wiener. He looks like Yosemite Sam at about 90 years old. Wiener was a former moonshine runner who the government caught and now needs a regular job, so he works for the wrestling promotion, sets up the ring. He's passed out from drinking Newfie Screech. Now, I didn't get the chance to have a conversation with Wiener because I really wanted to delve into where we got the name. We'll find out more about that in a little bit. Speaking of names, I know Ali Dar was talking about hers and how unusual they are. Ali Dar, I think your name's beautiful. I want to point out that I've met some people that have weirder ones. Like I was in Maryland and I was signing autographs, and a guy came up and said, I said, who do I make it out to? And he said, Bob. Oh, okay. B-O-B. Here you go. He goes, you misspelled my name. I go, excuse me? He's like, you misspelled my name. I go, it's fucking Bob. He goes, yeah, it's B-A-U-B. I go, I'm sorry, what? B-A-U-B. I've also met Tim, T-Y-M, Jim, J-Y-M. I cannot tell you the number of spellings for children these days that if you misspell your child's name, I'm going to find you and punch you. I just wanted them to be different. Now the poor kid's got to go around and spell that name all the time. The best one was in Arkansas, where, this was later, we went to a strip club in Arkansas, and that's where I think I actually witnessed a miscarriage on stage, and I didn't know how to tip for it. So, and I watched a girl, she was dancing, and she like collapsed, and I was like, she just fell out on the stage. And I like called nobody cares, nobody's paying attention, you know what I mean? And I called the cocktail, is she okay? She'll kick out in a song or two. And literally like a song later, she just boop, 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 started coming back up and like a jack in a box and went back to work. Oh, she'll be fine. That's also where I slow danced with the stripper that had the club foot. So it all comes back, guys. It all comes back. So
We never go anywhere fun, Al.
I know. So I met a guy in Arkansas. His legal name, not kidding, on his driver's license, his first name is Mule.
Like M-U-L-E?
M-U-L-E, Mule. I was like, why is your name Mule? He said, well, my dad owned one. Okay? Like you didn't name the fucking mule like Francis or something? Dad just called him Mule, and when I was born, my dad called me Mule. You know what his last name is? The letter E. That's it. His name is Mule E. That's it. That's his legal goddamn name. Mule E. Just the letter, Not E. Edward, not E. Everyone, not E. Each, not E. Done. I was like, God bless your heart for even coming out in public. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Anyways, so let's go back to Nova Scotia. So I meet Wiener, right? We'll find out how he got his name. Then I meet Old Bob. Old Bob literally has a combination of a very heavy Scottish accent and a Newfoundland accent. The only human being that could understand a fucking word he was saying, because it's like Boomhauer from King of the Hill. Listening to him was like listening to Boomhauer on fucking acid. And he'd look at you and I'd be like, and I'd look at, I have no fucking idea what he said. And he'd get angry because you couldn't understand what he was saying, you know what I mean? Wiener understood it perfectly. And Wiener also had a heavy accent and mumbled, so you had to kind of really pay attention to what Wiener said because he was also partially drunk 24 hours a day. So they could communicate and they would talk to each other like if you heard like two songbirds tweeting together, you know what I mean? And that makes me wonder too, are the birds tweeting because they're happy or is it because they're scared they're about to fucking fall? Gotta think about it. See, it's comedy for thought, people. That just, if you're fucking flying around up here, you know, and you're scared of heights, you'd be screaming a lot too. And then just because we don't understand it, we think, oh, they're so pretty. And they're actually fucking in terror. They think they're gonna die. Exactly. Imagine if a bird was drunk. I mean, just... Anyways, then I meet the rest of the ring crew. I meet Indian Larry. Now, Indian Larry was adopted by Native Canadians, but now Indian Larry's as white as the driven snow, and he assumes now he's Native Canadian as well. And he's not. To the point where he bought a dream catchers at a truck stop and then assumed the entire traditional garb and did a ceremony and presented dream catchers to myself and Butch. It was very touching. There was also High-Pitched Daryl, a 19-year-old boy that sounded like he had been perpetually kicked in the nuts. I can no longer do the high octave of the range of his voice that was constantly there. But imagine if you sucked in a lot of helium and then spoke. That would be his voice.
Wow.
We found out why Wiener's name was Wiener, because Wiener could do a magic trick.
We were with you until right now.
We went to a party that the owner wanted us to go to, this VFW dinner or whatever, and I'm like, Wiener, why are you Wiener? Why are you called Wiener? And just so you guys know too, Wiener was banned from one of the towns we ran because he had gotten drunk the year before and had fallen off the side of the ring and cracked open his head, and they had to send in the EMS to cart him out. So we had to smuggle Wiener in under the ring padding where he almost suffocated to death because he couldn't breathe. He came out going out of the trailer. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you almost killed Wiener. What are you doing?
That's what I tell my wife every week.
Yes. Good one. Probably won't help for next week, though.
No.
So Wiener can take up to 2 packages of hot dogs, take them, pay attention, ladies, insert it, pull it out, and it goes away. I was like, holy shit, you could make a fortune in like gay porn. I mean, that's... He didn't find that funny, but it was an incredible sight. So
Like he just swallowed it?
literally it disappears, and he like takes in like 2 dozen. I mean, if you could take a picture of his inside of his stomach, it'd probably look like a bunch of fingers all
Oh my
inside of it. Which, if you're into that kind of thing, could probably
Hey, we don't
the other
judge.
direction. You know what I mean? It's like, hey,
I don't judge.
Nothing up my sleeve. Watch me pull a rabbit out of your ass. It's a chocolate bunny.
Happy Easter!
We like to call him Fudgy. This one's not hollow.
Yeah.
He's got corn fries. Stop it. Don't do that. Oh.
You knew what he was talking
Alidar
about.
was up here talking about stuff too, so. Put the heat on the girl, you know.
That's it. That's it.
So the whole purpose of all telling this is I'm at the most amazing family, and you can also do what?
Google it.
this. It's if you ever doubt any story I tell, I always go, you can look these people up. They are a real family. They are called the Goler family. We are in a certain part of Newfoundland or Nova Scotia. They live back in the hills, and they are notoriously, there's a notorious incest there. They're very inbred. I didn't know that. So I'm at a show in a hockey arena, and a girl comes up, and she looked like a goldfish. Like literally, her head looked like a gold, like eyes on either side of her head, to where, and I try to be kind of subtle, but I was kind of like, oh shit, right? She had a little boy with her, so I'm like stunned, and I run to the back, and there's one of the local wrestlers. His name's Cowboy Mike Hughes, and he's back there, and I'm like, there's a girl out here, and she looks like a goldfish, like I'm telling you, like. I'm waiting for her to do it. And I'm not trying to be funny. That was my reaction. And he's like, that's Sarah. And I go, what? He goes, that's Sarah. She's a local, groupie. I go, excuse me? He goes, yeah, groupie, We call them arena rats, you know what I mean? And I'm like, do you not have any standards? I mean, for God's sakes, guys. She looks like a goldfish. And he's like, yeah, that's the Goler family. They live up in the hills. They're, and he starts telling me about the story about the Golers and how they're inbred and all that. And that they, at one point in time, having a huge, because it's a big family. Kind of like myself, I want to point out, I have 6 children because I want to do my part to help the overpopulation problem. I'm like the salmon. I just keep swimming upstream. I'm a proven breeder. Let me tell you. I have 7 grandchildren. What the fuck? I don't own a farm or anything. What am I going to do with them? You know what I mean? I can't even get them to mow a yard, let alone hoe a field. What I am doing is I'm building an army. That way I can go take over a small town in Iowa when I get enough of them. And I just, all right, guys, let's mobilize.
Or Munster, Indiana.
Damn right, we'll be coming to your town next. Herman don't stand a fucking chance. Put my foot right up Grandpa's ass. Anyway,
Sarah Goler.
They're shooting each other. They're having a family feud. So the local newscaster decides he's going to do a big investigative report. So it's all a true story. They go, and you can Google you can pull it up on YouTube. He goes out and interviews the patriarch of the Goler family, right? The father, the grandfather, the paterfamilias, the grand poobah. Anyways, he comes up and dead serious. He goes, sir, I don't want to offend you, but there have been reports of incest out here. And guy looks at him dead serious. He goes, insects? Ain't no goddamn insects out here. I sprayed last week. And I'm like, well, if I'd have been that reporter, I'd have just looked back at the camera and went, well, back to you. Investigation's over. I think we're fucking done, And that became the slogan for the tour for the next 10 days was insects. Ain't no goddamn insects out here. I sprayed last week.
Al Snow, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. You're all too kind. You want to hear it real quick? You want to hear? I always do this. I know every time, but you want to hear one thing that really, and it's getting that time of year, and I have this real personal issue with this fucking thing.
Oh, God.
It really pisses me off. There's a bird in my neighborhood.
Oh, God.
I'm being dead serious, okay? And people that, like, you think I'm kidding? I'm not. Like, I have a personal issue with this fucking bird. And it started a couple years ago. My mailbox is on my street at the end of my yard, so it's a distance from my yard. That's the only thing that saved this little bastard. So everybody else has a mailbox too. This bird, I watch him through the window in the kitchen. We're like looking at each other. He stares at my house the entire time he's on the mailbox. Okay? And I watch him staring at me as I'm staring at him, watching him stare at me as I stare at him. This happens every day, and it's coming up time, and because we're at the end of April.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there. I know he's coming back. He's been back for like the last 5-6 years. He sits on my mailbox. And when I walk out of the house, he looks at me and he shits on my mailbox and he flies away. At first I was like, huh, he shit on my mailbox. And then after a while I started realizing that little fucker's doing it on purpose. Like, I don't know what he thinks I've done, but I know what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna follow him to his nest this year and then I'm gonna shit in his nest. Touche, bitch. Or I'm gonna sit on the porch and eat eggs. Like, I'm gonna eat your children if you continue to keep shitting on my mailbox. Anyway, I just had to get that off my
Al
chest.
Snow, ladies and gentlemen.